Most likely, a lot of you were hoping that I'm gonna give my initial impressions after my first run with the Prodigo Pro. However, with a broken heart, I decided to actually pack it up instead and send it back from where I bought it from for one primary reason. The space in the toe box. Again, it is not a super narrow shoes compared to maybe other traditional shoes, but compared to, of course, something like what I wear, the usual Ultras, it feels very, very restricting. And it's not the main problem, because if it was restricted and does not cause any issues, I would have minded keeping it, try it out and enjoy that lovely midsole. However, yesterday I decided to spend 2 hours in the shoes at home to see how my body would react, because usually when something is tight on my toe, especially in the right foot, usually left foot is not a problem, but in the right foot, it causes my hallux rigidus to kind of inflame again and causes issue. And unfortunately, that's what happened. Before I went to sleep, my big toe was disastrous. I had to wake up, massage it, etc. And I made the difficult decision that I said, okay, I'm gonna send it back and maybe I will get something else instead. Again, I cannot give my initial impressions. However, one thing that I felt for sure is how responsive and how bouncy that midsole is. As soon as you put that shoes on, you immediately feel, especially if you're bouncing and maybe jogging around the house a bit, you feel that this shoe is gonna help you run faster. At least that was the impression. Of course, I cannot vouch how it would have felt over 30 kilometers, because most likely I would have ruined my experience because of my big toe. Again, I don't know how the outsole would have performed. However, the midsole felt lovely even when I was doing some runs in the corridor at home. The upper felt really, really supportive. It wrapped around my foot lovely. I said I actually was gonna try running without doing a runner's knot, something which I would never do in any of the shoes I own, because it felt really nice and tight around my feet. However, unfortunately, as I said, I'm gonna send it back because I don't have €200 to waste, especially if I don't like it, and usually I give it away for free. I would prefer using those €200 to maybe get something else. I'm considering the Ultra Mont Blanc Speed, which would be similar, I assume, to the Mont Blanc Carbon, a shoe which I really enjoy running in as well. Again, I don't think the midsole will outperform the Prodigo Pro. However, for me, the toe area in Ultra, it outperforms most of the other shoes. Thank you very much still for watching. I hope I didn't disappoint you with the initial unboxing and maybe you had different thoughts. Again, see you in the next one.